Mildred Gillers was an all-American girl who was convicted of treason. During World War II, American troops called her Axis Sally. She broadcast propaganda for the Nazis. Author Richard Lucas is here to tell us more about her story and his book, Axis Sally, the American voice of Nazi Germany. Richard, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
In a way, this book of yours exists because Axis Sally seduced you, in a sense, didn't she?
Yes, she did. About 7 years ago, I heard her broadcast, and I noticed what a skilled broadcaster she was, and also that there was more to the story, that there were actually two Axis Sallys. One, Mildred Gillers, who was from Ohio and went to Germany in 1934, and Rita Zuka, who was a New Yorker, the daughter of a restaurateur who had a place up on West 49th Street. And after 7 years, this is the result of my research.
So when you were just kind of cruising the web, you were on a website that had these old radio broadcasts, and you heard one of the broadcasts. What was the content of that broadcast, the first one you heard, that really got your attention?
The first one that I heard was was to women in America, trying to convince the women to give up the fight against the Nazis. She would broadcast not just to the soldiers on the front line, but she would broadcast also to ladies at home and try to get American public opinion.
And she spotted a lot of anti-Semitic.
Yes, she did. Towards 1943, 1944, she was under the influence of her lover, Max Otto Koischwitz, who was a former Hunter College professor. And he really wrote the scripts and pushed her towards anti-American, anti-Semitic propaganda.
Why do you think she did that? How did an all-American girl from Ohio end up in Berlin broadcasting for the Nazis?
The Great Depression came in 1929. She was a failed actress who tried her hand at Broadway. She had a relationship with a British and Jewish man. She followed him to Algiers, and the relationship cooled, and without a job and without a future, she ended up in Germany just by chance. It was 1934, and she started to find work, and she decided to remain when she became involved with a German citizen.
Now, after the war, after Germany surrendered, she was arrested. She was brought back to this country, tried, convicted of treason, spent 12 years in prison.
Yes.
When she was released, she went back to Ohio, went into a nunnery, correct?
That's correct. She was a teacher. She taught music for a convent school at Our Lady of Bethlehem in Columbus. And she was a very good teacher, and she went through a real religious conversion during her time in prison.
Was she accepted by society here?
She lived a very private life, and her family paid a great price for her acts. But she was never accepted.
Yeah, thank you for coming in and sharing a bit of this book. It's a fascinating story. This is the first time anybody's written a nonfiction book about Axis Sally.
That's true.
It's a must-read.
Thank you.